Sure, here's a longer, more immersive version of the story. Arjun lived in a small village at the foot of a towering mountain range. The village was peaceful, the air smelled of fresh earth, the fields swayed with golden crops, and the sky was a wide expanse of blue during the day. But as night fell, everything changed for Arjun. Since childhood, Arjun had been terrified of the dark. It wasn't just the absence of light that scared him, it was what his mind imagined in the shadows. The hoot of an owl sounded like a monster's growl, the rustling of leaves seemed like an unseen creature creeping toward him. He avoided stepping out after sunset, always making sure he was safely tucked inside his home before the first star appeared in the sky. His fear wasn't a secret. The villagers often whispered about it. "He's a grown man now," they'd say. Yet, he's still afraid of the dark like a child. Some laughed at him, while others pitied him. But no one truly understood what Arjun felt, the cold grip of fear in his chest, the racing heartbeat, the feeling of being watched when he was alone in the dark. One evening, an old sage arrived in the village. His beard was long and white, his robe simple, and his eyes held the wisdom of many years. The villagers gathered around him, offering food and asking for advice on their problems. Arjun stood at the back of the crowd, hoping to remain unseen, but the sage's gaze fell directly on him. "You," the sage said, pointing at Arjun. "Why do you look so restless?" The crowd grew silent. All eyes were on Arjun now. His cheeks burned with embarrassment, but the sage's voice was calm and kind, not mocking. Arjun hesitated, then quietly replied, "I fear the dark." A few villagers chuckled, but the sage didn't smile. He simply nodded, as though he had heard the most ordinary thing in the world. "Meet me at the top of the hill tonight," the sage said. "Bring this." He handed Arjun a small unlit lamp. Arjun's heart thudded. The hill was surrounded by a dense forest, and at night, it became a place of whispers and shadows. The very thought of walking through it made his palms sweat. Yet, there was something about the sage, his calm voice, his steady gaze, that made Arjun want to obey. As night descended, Arjun lit the small lamp and stood at the edge of the forest. The flickering flame illuminated only a small patch of ground ahead of him. The rest of the path disappeared into blackness. He took a shaky breath and stepped forward. The forest was alive with sounds, leaves rustling, twigs snapping, the distant call of a night bird. Shadows danced at the edge of the lamp's light, shifting and swaying. Arjun's mind screamed at him to turn back, but he didn't. He kept walking. After a few minutes, he realized something strange. The lamp didn't show him the entire path. It only lit up a small space, just enough for him to see where to place his next step. He couldn't see the end of the road or what lay ahead, but the light always revealed the next step. And that was enough. His fear, though still present, began to shrink. It didn't vanish, but it lost its grip. Step by step, Arjun moved through the dark forest, the soft glow of the lamp guiding his way. He stopped focusing on what lay in the shadows and concentrated only on what was right before him, the next step. After what felt like an eternity, Arjun reached the top of the hill. The sage was waiting for him, his face calm and serene, as though he had known all along that Arjun would make it. Arjun was out of breath, his heart still pounding, but there was something new in his chest, a flicker of pride. "I was afraid at first," Arjun said, "but the lamp showed me just enough to take the next step. I didn't need to see the whole path, I just needed to keep moving." The sage smiled. "Life is no different," he said softly. "Fear grows when you stand still. It feeds on the unknown, on what might happen. But if you take even the smallest step forward, fear begins to lose its power. You don't need to see the whole journey. You only need the courage to take the next step." Arjun looked back at the dark forest. It still loomed, the shadows still thick and silent, but they no longer seemed as terrifying. From that night on, Arjun's life changed. He didn't become fearless overnight. The fear of darkness still whispered to him now and then, but he no longer let it control him. Whenever he felt the icy grip of fear, he remembered the lamp's small flame, and how he only needed to see the next step, not the whole path. And so, Arjun walked through life the same way he walked through the dark forest that night, one step at a time. Would you like me to add a more powerful ending or any specific message you want to highlight?